Hi, congratulations on your new RV. We're really excited for you. Please make sure before you're signing that you bring the following items with you. If you're a cash buyer, please make sure that you bring a cashier's check, no personal checks at time of signing, or you may bring actual cash. If you're a finance customer, please make sure that you bring proof of insurance listing your specific lien holder. If you need that information, please call us ahead of time. Also, make sure that you bring all valid driver's license of all persons that will be listed on the title. If you have a trade that you're trading in with us, please make sure that you bring your 10-day payoff as well as your title and all persons who will be listed on the title of that trade. Arrive 30 minutes early before your appointment time so we can properly inspect your unit, and also make sure that you have the fridge on and running prior to arrival. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call at 810-686-0710. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Hello, this is Michael, TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your Keystone Raptor 352 fifth wheel toy hauler. Guys, picked a pretty cool unit here. I'm going to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things to get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A few things to take into consideration when parking. On your campsite, besides your slide, you've also got this big awning I want you to think about. Leave plenty of room for that to come in and out unimpeded, preferably nothing hanging over top of it. On your off camp side, you got a couple slides, but I also want you to think about where your power and water connections are going to be. Your power is going to be all the way at the rear on your off camp side or your driver's side of your tow vehicle, and then your water docking station is going to be all the way up here at the front. So park accordingly so you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once you arrive and unhook your hitch, first thing we're going to do is level our unit. Now your auto leveling system's up here in the corner. This is what it's going to look like to operate it. We're going to come up in here and turn that on. Once we are on, we're going to touch front to raise or lower this unit until we're got our vehicle lift up off it. Remove your vehicle completely up out of the way and hit auto level. Before it starts auto leveling, it's going to shift down to where it was before it came off the hitch. Then it's going to go ahead and run down all of your auto leveling systems. Front of and behind the tires. Once your unit's level and stable, little green light in there is going to, or red light in there is going to stop flashing. It's going to be solid. Then we know we can hook up our power and water. Again, all the way at the rear back here is your big long 50 amp cord. At the end of that 50, should you need to plug into a campsite with 30, your convenience pack will have a 50 to 30 amp dog bone, we call it, ampage reducer. And if you ever need to plug into a 110, there's also a 30 to 15 amp reducer to throw on there. When you put these on, put them on and then twist to the right and then lock on your gray washer. Now we got our power hooked up. Let's hook up our water. First I'm going to show you is the spray port and how that connects up there, and how it simply right hand in the way, quickly it disconnects from up there. Alright, so let me start with the most important thing, and that is ignore all these red, white, and blues. They had a system in these. They had red, white, and blue handles. That's what this template is for. Forget that. So let's go ahead and talk about what actually does work over here correctly, and that is your winterized, city, and tank flush. Now at campsites, we're going to hook up to city fill. First and foremost, your water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce water pressure 40 to 50 psi, protecting the lines in your unit. Always use this when putting fluid into your unit. Hook that up to city fill. Make sure this is on normal flow. Then you can go ahead and turn that hose on. Now if that hose has been on for a little while, you can go inside, open up all of your water taps and make sure that you have water going through all your lines. Once you do, you'll know that your water lines are full, and then you can turn on this hot water heater from indoors. Now let's say we're going to go camping and we're not going to use city water. We're going to go dry camping or boondocking, as they like to call it. In that case, we're going to do a two-step process. We're going to fill our tank in the same spot, but what we're going to do is we're going to switch this to tank fill, up and down. Now you're going to go inside, and while you're filling that, you're going to check the levels of your, where you check the levels of your black and gray tank, there's also a button to see your freshwater tank. Once that freshwater tank is full, remove that hose, turn this back to normal flow, and then whenever you want to use that water, you'll turn on your water pump. Don't turn on your water pump when you're hooked up to city water that's already pressurized. Alright, we're set up with power and water. Let me go ahead and walk you around the rest of the outside of the unit. Starting here again in the docking station with your light up top. Your quick connect hot and cold shower here. If you're prepped for solar, you can plug in a solar panel right there and it'll trickle charge your batteries. This is your battery disconnect. This will disconnect all the battery power to the unit. That'll come in important later when I talk about your carbon monoxide and propane detector. On means batteries are on. Up here means your battery's off. This can only be removed if your battery's shut off. Down below that, where you plug in your cable and satellite. Up here's where your winterize. You turn that over to winterize. You'll turn on your water pump and siphon antifreeze through here. There's your city fill. Here's your tank flush. We'll talk about that when we dump our black and gray tanks. And then your low point drains. And you pass through storage there. There's your big inverter. Some lighting up there. Over here is your batteries. Check your battery post now and then. Make sure those haven't wiggled loose over time. And again, your auto leveling system. That's a vent for your battery compartment. Again, your hot water heater. Let's say flue for your furnace. A couple things on that. One, make sure nothing's ever blocking it. And two, if you are running your furnace, steer clear of that. It does get hot. Gray tank here. Back here, this is black tank. Here is your fueling station. Got a ladder, utilize it. Go up there a couple times a year and check the seams of your roof and caulk as needed with recommended RV roofing caulk. Your deck will bring that down shortly. You do have a backup camera and a big awning, carefree awning back here. Coming down the side here, you do have a vent you can push out from indoors. Allows you to vent the indoors out from any gas fumes you may have from your toys. A couple outdoor speakers here. Got a couple 110s out here as well. Storage area. You can do a TV out here with cable and satellite. Settle up here. Your in-command water system, you can shut off everything individually through there. Your hydraulics for your leveling system. Coming up front is your propane. Just lefty-loosey to open. Pointed toward the tank you wish to be using. And once you got gas, that'll turn green. Up here's your Awning generator. We'll start that up from indoors. Do have some docking lights below as well as up here. That about covers everything out here. Let's go take a look on the inside. So coming up inside your unit, first thing I always like to point out is the fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone that's camped with you knows the fire extinguisher is located at the entry doorway in case of an emergency. To your right, as we come up the steps, up here on the wall is going to be some control panels. Let's start on top by turning some lights on. Down below that, touch screen, touch our home here, touch all zeros. You can reset that later. So on this control panel, we can start our generator, we can run our awnings out, our slides, our lights, set our hitch up, turn on tank heaters, your heating and cooling, and the settings. Down here, you can check your battery, turn on your water pump, turn on and off your interior lights, on and off exterior lights, and security lights. Up here to the generator, come back and start that in a moment. So I'm going to step outside and show you that. So back arrow here will take us back. Awnings. Front awning. I'm going to hit out. Now on your awnings, you're going to want to watch your awnings when you run them out. You're only going to want to run them out until you see the flap fall down to 90 degrees and you can see your bar. Now these awnings will continue to run themselves out past that point and start to run themselves up backwards. So keep an eye on them when you run them out. Run them out to that point right there and stop. Go ahead and run that back in by hitting the in up here. You run in and out pretty quickly. You can leave them out shorter, you just don't want to run it out past that point. So same thing on the rear, just have someone watch that awning. When you run that one out, this one the rest of the way back in. And we'll back up and go to our slides. Again, you can run our slides in, we'll run them back in when we're leaving the campsite. Our lights. Let's go to all of our lights. We just walk through and just shut them all off from here, except these hallway ones. But I just walk back through, turn them all back on. Back arrow. Your hitch. You can bring your hitch up and down from here. Your tank heaters. That's if you want to turn on 12-volt pads that are on your tanks to keep them from freezing. Back arrow. Your heating and cooling. Several different things to choose from here. We'll start with your main living room AC, and we would turn that on. Just gonna set that a lot lower here. It's set lower than 83 as it is in here. You heard that crank up. Turn that fan on high as well. You can open your vent, close the vent, shut that off from here. Change it to heat, change it to auto, and turn it off. You can also do your bedroom, garage AC, bedroom AC as well, all from here. There's the other. Back arrow. And lastly, just our settings, just showing how your passcode you can reset and floor plan, etc. Bluetooth setups. Back arrow here. So again, down here, all those lights. Down here, your inverter. Right here is a temperature reader. This is you see a few of these throughout the unit. It helps the thermostat to work better. Down here is where you turn on your water heater on this one. And again, this won't turn on without any water in it. But all you do is just set it to the temperature. Living room area here is your 12-volt carbon monoxide propane detector. The reason I mention that's 12 volt is it's always running off your battery. So if you are out dry camper, boondocking somewhere, nothing plugged in charging your battery, use your battery disconnect if you're going to be gone for the whole day to keep this from running your battery down. When you sink area, I just want to mention some plumbing to maintain. Just keep an eye on it. You're bouncing a house down the road. Things can tend to wiggle loose after time. So get up underneath here and keep an eye on all that plumbing. Here's an access panel to the side of that. And an access panel to your breaker box and fuses. You have a ton of 15s in there. 10, couple 30s. Highly recommend you have some of those with you when you go camping. Little dryer rack. Drying dishes. Down here is your AC, or your vacuum system, excuse me. Down here, hook up your vacuum here. You push on this button here, that is where your vacuum bag is. That button right there will open that up. That's how you get to your bag. Come up here, self-explanatory microwave. It does have a light and a high and low exhaust. The glass top makes an excellent backsplash. Turn on your panel light. Turn this to light, changes from blue to red. Hit your spark, there's your flame. Do the same on all of them. And just that quickly, all your burners working. Now same thing on the oven. just turn that to the flame, spark it over here, no need for a pilot light, and that will light it, and then just turn it to the desired temperature. Rock that panel light down for an oven light. You have a whole different owner's manual for this fridge. You also have a locking mechanism to keep that from moving during travel. Simply this handle here, you put that in and twist that in tight, and that will keep this from moving during travel. Continuing around into your living room area, your seating all has what I call parachute pull recliners. Looks like a parachute pull. Pull up on that, that'll recline. Same thing on this end. Push them down with your feet to close. You also have your light, heat, and massage. Entertainment center. Turn on your TV. Remember, wherever campsite you get to, you're going to go ahead and want to run a digital channel scan so you can pick up all the local channels. You'll run it under antenna.
That's all I can keep
So
saying.
is that working?
Never tried to dodge, you know, liability or responsibility.
Remote.
He manned up. He stepped
Shut
right
that
up.
off. Come down here to our sound system.
He took accountability, and in that moment, right?
Yes.
RV Technology sound system. Remote for this too. We have AM, FM, Bluetooth, DVD player, CD player. Turn that on. So indoors, to garage or outdoors, 3 different zones on that. AM, FM, Bluetooth, go through different modes. Over here are a couple of lightings, accent lighting, fireplace, not just for looks anymore. I can go through and show you all the pretty colors, but the biggest thing, folks, is the heat. If it's chilly in here in the morning or evening, if you're plugged into a campsite, crank this heat up in here, and instead of using up your gas, use their electricity to warm it up in here. It'll get toasty in here in no time. Go back to your garage shortly. Have a ladder back there so you can get up to your bunk area here. You do have separate lighting here, as well as USB ports on the end there. Going back up into our bathroom. Just want to mention 110 with GFCI reset. Shower doors for travel. Shift everything to the left and lock that in. That's going to keep any of that from moving during travel. Again, plumbing. You know, just like you would at home, maintain this house. Just keep an eye on your plumbing. Make sure nothing's wiggled loose over time. You do have a hand crank open. Power exhaust vent up in here. Oop, there's a fan like that. Back up into our bedroom here. Other temperature reader. Lighting. Lighting next to the bed. As well as USB ports for charging. Place to set your phone at. Turn your TV on. Do you have this safety strap for travel? Just make sure you bungee that on there. That's going to keep that TV from bouncing around. Shut that off and put your TV remote for your bedroom in your bedroom. You have 3 identical remotes. I want to make sure you know which one goes to which. So really strong magnets on the bottom here. This is all prepped for a washer and dryer. Or you can make it a big closet by simply removing this drawer. Big closet here. Again for travel. We're going to want to make sure that we snap these in on both ends. Make sure those doors won't move for travel. Underneath our bed here is our table that we can take back and use into our garage. and a manual hand crank for your spare tire. Another door to make sure is snap back for travel. Your bedroom door. We don't want this traveling during travel, so we're going to snap that back. It covers everything up this way. We do have on our island a couple fold out seats, and all you'll do is lift and pull that down to get these to come back down. Alright, let's go check out your garage. Alright, it's coming back into our bunk area. Our garage, excuse me. Currently set up for bunk. I'm going to start around here in the corner. Again, a temperature reader. You have a 110 with GFCI reset here. These are a vent, so we press them out to vent any fumes in here. You have snap-on windows covers, so people aren't peeking in at your toys or you while you're sleeping. You also have a half bath back here. A little plumbing to watch back here. Keep an eye on that. Also have a fire extinguisher back here. Big carpet you can roll out. A ladder to use to get up onto your top bunk. And steps for your outdoor patio deck. Up underneath here, we're going to have your other awning control. Your bed up and down. Lighting. And only one lighting here for back behind. So your bed up and down. So I'm going to start by showing this. We have it set in your bunk position. Top bunk has been brought down. Bottom bunk is in the bed position. If you want to make these seats, come to here, pull back on this, and then this will roll right back like so. Same thing over here. Just make sure that this end is pulled back before you roll that up. If you have this down for the bed position, make sure you go ahead and put that arm down for support. There's also a arm underneath the seating position if you want to bring that one down as well. Sorry, it's a little dark underneath there. So I'm going to roll these back down. Once you roll down, we'll lock them. And then we're going to go ahead and raise our bunk area. So as I raise this, it's going to go ahead and grab your bunk here. And when this gets all the way up to the top, this bottom hole right here, we are going to put a cotter pin through it. All four corners have that cotter pin. Once the cotter pin's in, that's going to hold that bunk up there when you bring the other bed down. I'm going to show you how this grabs this here. I'm going to lift that all the way up. Now once we're all the way up, I'm going to grab one of these cotter pins right here and place it in this hole and go through the hole and through the other side. I'm going to do the same thing on all four corners of that top bunk. Alright, so I got some cotter pins in. Now when I bring down my bunk, the top part will stay and just your seating will come down. Now I'm going to show you one last way that you can store these seating. So you'll remove these cotter pins, and when you pull this away from the wall, everything will swing down against the wall just by removing these cotter pins right here. So this end you can see a little better. When you remove that, you'll pull this, that'll make this arm come down and around. That'll lay against the wall. Let me show you that real quick. Now you see how that laid against the wall. Now you just take your cotter pin and place it back through here to lock that from coming back up. Also the back of your garage, you got your sliding doors. And your patio. So let's go ahead and go outside and set your patio up. Before I go out there, you will have a 40-inch TV installed up here. Let's go ahead and check out your patio. Alright, so down here is going to take your deadbolt key, which is this bent key. Just going to release that from up top. Make sure I got the right one here. Deadbolt. Let's just release. Now you can let this down. The cables are going to stop this. Show you a couple of safety features here. You can open up this leg here. Bring that down. Once our deck is down, now we would just simply lower that down into place. Try to pin that back up. It gives you a little more support on the ends here. So you're pretty much level here. Same on either side. Show you quickly how to set your deck up. I'm going to start by unvelcroing here. Swing this side out to the left. Got this whole piece right here. This is going to swing out. Let's pull this forward first. Now it should swing out here. Okay, so now to release this, you're going to lift up on this and pull it out. You see how it sets in like a key lock? Other side there. I'm just going to swing this all the way out. I'll show you here how to put these corners in. Set it here, pull it toward it. Much easier with two hands. And now this whole side will swing around. Slip in there. This side here. Slip in there. I'm going to show you quickly how to put that deck on here, or your steps. Alright, so you can bring your steps out here. Set them up like so. You do have adjustable feet down there with your cotter pin. So these are simply just going to lift up and lash down onto these little circles. Press them down. That'll lock these on there. Then take your handle. Remember, high side up top. Wiggle that down in here. This will lock up here as well. And then this will swing around. So quickly we got our deck. I want to show you that trap door, or our garage door, you could also release from here if you're on the inside. And then lastly, we're going to run out our rear awning. Run that out and then go take a look at it. See how far we are. Now we're just going to reverse process, put everything back. We'll lock this back in. Got it pinned back in. through a hole. Now when we put these up, take this cable, go back behind your deck here, and that'll keep it from getting caught up in there. And we'll lock back in. Well, it covers everything. Let's go ahead and close the unit up. So I like to start in the back here, work my way forward, shutting off lights. Sure my bathroom back here is out. I'll put my lights back here. And start saying doors and drawers. Go through the unit, make sure all doors and drawers are closed. Nothing's going to impede your slides from coming in. Come up to our control panel. Go to lights. Shut all of them off, including my hallway. Then I can look and see any I may have forgotten. Let's not forget to lock that in. Couple more little accent lights around here to get off. Alright, we got all of our lights off. Again, doors and drawers. Make sure all doors and drawers are closed. Nothing's going to impede your slides from coming in. And let's go to slides. Let's go to the wardrobe slide number 1. Make sure this is all secure in here. Especially these drawers down here. Next is our kitchen slide. Again, doors and drawers. I mean, it's very important to go through and make sure all of them are snapped completely closed. They utilize every inch when bringing these slides in and out, and we don't need to rip things off just because we're closing our slide up. Sofa side. Slides are all in. Shut off our lights and exit the unit. Now the biggest thing to remember on these steps, make sure your exterior door is all the way open, otherwise this could catch on it. So you lift these up. Before you leave the dump station, and I say that in case you want to go in and check the levels all over your tanks while you're dumping, make sure you lock and deadbolt your exterior door before leaving the campsite. Alright, at this point, we're going to unhook our cable, our water, our power. Bring up our stabilizing jacks. I'm coming back over here, turning this back on, and simply hit retract. Retract's going to bring everything back up. Once everything's back up, you can raise it, get your hitch back on, and head on up to the dump station. Now, the dump station parked accordingly. Your dump is going to be in front of your tires on your off-camp side. You're going to hook up 10-foot hose, comes your convenience pack, and pull that black handle. Now, once it sounds like that's no longer draining, go inside, take a look, make sure it is empty. If it is empty, leave that black handle open, grab your hose at the dump station, hook up to that tank flush. Let that run for a good 5 minutes, washing all that nastiness out of your black tank. When that's done, remove that hose, make sure all the washout that you put in there has drained out of here. Then close your black tank. Then you can pull your gray tank. While your gray tank's draining, go ahead and open up both these low point drains. When that gray tank is done, that's going to be cleaner water, your sinks and your showers. That'll clean your sewage hose out for you. Then you can conveniently and sanitarily store it away somewhere. and head on home. Again, thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this Raptor for many years to come. Happy camping.